QuickBooks Pro Desktop 2021. Change account numbers in IIF files so we can then upload them back into our QuickBooks system. Let's get into it with Intuit. QuickBooks Pro Desktop 2021. Here we are in our sample file. Last time we went into our lists, we took a look at the chart of accounts. We exported the chart of accounts as an IIF file by going to the file dropdown, going down to the utilities, export, and then we export to an IIF file. Now we're going to take that IIF file, which is located on our computer here. We're going to use Excel to format the IIF file for account numbers to upload it back into the system. I'm going to open up Excel again. I'm going to drag the IIF file onto it so we can manipulate it with Excel. Our goal here is to be able to adjust it without messing up basically the IIF extension. So it's not an Excel file, of course, it's an IIF file, but I want to be able to change it with Excel. So I want to drag it into Excel so it can then open the IIF file. I'm going to close the prior tab. I'm going to open this up and see if we can format this thing and still save it in the format of an IIF file. So what I would like to do is concentrate now on the name and then the account number, and I'd also need the account type. So those are the fields that I would like to change. I want to be careful about changing anything else because if something gets messed up that takes it out of the IIF file, I won't be able to save it, as an IIF file. So if that happens, it's no big deal because you can just open it up again and then work on it again, although you have to do the work over again. So what I want to do is then hide column A. I don't want column A. I want to start with the account numbers. I'm going to right click on column A and hide that. And then I want to hide columns C. I'm going to click on C and D, right click on that selected area and hide those. And then I want the account type here. That's good. I don't need this column. I just want the account numbers now. So I'm going to select these two columns, right click and hide those. And then I'd like to hide everything past that from I to N. Let's do I to N, right click on all those columns and hide them. Okay, so then I'm going to basically increase the size a little bit for column B. So column B, I'll increase the size a bit, and then column E, and then we have our account numbers here. Now, if you were doing this basically from scratch, if you just wanted to redo the entire account numbers, then you could just basically start in and do that. We'll take a look at that in a second. But also note that if you just look at the account numbers here, you could say, okay, well, this one, we have two accounts that have account numbers that are 4 digits instead of 5. Maybe that's probably not ideal. I'd like them all to be basically 5-digit account numbers for the most part. And then we see some down here that were out of order at some point in time. I think it's in the twos, the liabilities down here. So we've got the 24 up top, the 25, the 28. It looks like it's in fairly good order. I think there were some that were out, but it looks like it's in fairly good order. But we're just going to adjust them here for the practice purposes. So you could go through here and adjust them, as you need to go through them. But you can also basically go through the whole thing and add account numbers just as you go. So for example, if I wanted to add new account numbers, say I'm changing it to from 4 digits to 5 digits or something like that, or there's a bunch of accounts that are out of order or didn't have account numbers, then we can use our system, which would look something like this, to basically group our accounts, banking accounts then being between 1 and 10,999. And then I would make sure to have a lot of space between the accounts. So if you were to start off, you're not going to start off with 10,000, even though that's the first item in our list here. You could start there, but what if you have another bank account that you want to put first? So it's a good idea then to start at, as they did here, 10100. That would be a good practice. And then notice the next one starts at 103. It didn't start at 101001. We wouldn't go 101001 because what if I want to put an account between those? There's no need to do that. I have a whole lot of space here, so I might say, okay, 1013 or 10300 as they did. And then once you have a pattern, you can copy this down. You can say, okay, now I've got enough spacing. I'm going to take that through all the bank accounts. I'm just going to copy it down, and notice it skipped to 5 here for the next item, which makes sense. And then if I go to the receivables, this is a different account type. You can see by this item here, the AR, it's a different account type. And then the AR account types, we're going to say those are in the 11s. So they have 1100. Now, there's probably only one receivable, but again, best practice, I wouldn't put it at the first one. Why not put it at 11.1 just in case I have some other receivable that I want to put before it, right? I got a whole lot of numbers here. There's no reason for me to put it at number 1 when it's the first item in the range. You know, I could put it somewhere outside the range, and then if I have another receivable for some reason that I need to add before it, we have room to do so. And then we have, these are all other assets. So all the other assets then, if I go over here, are now down here from 12 to 14,999. That's a whole lot of space in the other assets that we have. So we could start at 12. Now it starts at 12 probably because it's undeposited funds, and you probably want that as the first one all the time because it's a clearing account. But again, there's no real reason to start at the first number. Like we might want to start at like 12.1 and give it some space, and then the next one be 12, let's say 2 or even 3. Skip a couple hundred, and then I got a whole lot of room to add account numbers in between those two if I need to in the future. So when you first set them up, then I can highlight these two, and I'm going to go to all the ones that are other assets, and it should copy that pattern down. So and notice these two prepaid assets, they went all the way up to 13.1. Now I'm not sure you really need to get up to 13.1 for the prepaid. So I'm not sure. I would just keep it like that, right? I mean, I'm 200 in between each, and maybe you would want more than that for the other assets. If you had a lot of other assets, you might space it out between 13.4, maybe 13.1 to 13.4, and then because we have a lot of room here, and then group that out, and that brings it up to 13.3. Because again, we can go all the way out. We can go all the way out to 14,999. So we can have a lot of space between those two. So again, we can add a lot of accounts if necessary at a later point. And then we've got the fixed assets. Fixed assets, we started at 15. So now notice the fixed assets, we've got the vehicles, and notice there's a sub-account given by the colon. So this is under vehicles, and then it gives us the sub-account of the vehicles. So for furniture and fixture, again, I probably wouldn't put it in there at 15 exactly, maybe 15, 1. So we have a lot of room before that if we so choose, and maybe this one 15.2 or 15.3 even, maybe even 15.3. And then these down below are sub-accounts. So I would want them pretty close to the 300 here. So these you might want to make, I would add 5 digits still, are 15.310 maybe, and that gives me a lot of room within the vehicles in case I want to break out vehicles. It gives me, a little bit more room, 10 more accounts in there, and then I got 15.320, possibly something like that. And these are fairly close in line to this one, of course, because there's sub accounts given by the colon there. And then this one we might go up to like 15.5 maybe, construction 15.7, and then 15.9, and then accumulated depreciation, maybe that gets us up to our 16.1. And notice we can group these a little bit different. If we wanted to have an accumulated depreciation later on, we might say, hey, I'd like to have accumulated depreciation for each category. And that's why, if we have room to do that in between some of these categories, it'll make us easier for us to do that. So that went all the way up to 17.9 we could have gone to. So now we're at the 18 here. So security deposit and other assets, there's usually not much here. So 18.7. So I might put it just right in the middle, 18.5, since it's our only one. So we have enough room before and after it. So that goes from 18 up to 19. Well, plenty of room there. And then accounts payable at the 20,000, or starts with the 2s. Now there's probably one accounts payable only account, but you might, if there was another accounts payable, we might want to give it some room instead of starting at the first line item, because all liabilities typically start with 2s. So maybe I put it at 201 would be a little bit, in case I have other receivables for whatever reason. And then we have the credit cards down here. The credit cards start at 25. So, and so again, maybe I don't want to start at the 25.1. Maybe I want to start at 25 and then 10, right? and then another credit card. This is not 2025, you know, maybe 5 or even 6. Oh, and then if I have more credit cards that are going to line up within there, let's take a look at the credit cards again. 25 to 26, right? We can give more room there if we so choose. Let's keep it at 5. In any case, there shouldn't be too many credit cards. And then we got we've got the subcontractor federal withholding. These are other current liabilities. So we have no account number here at this point. So other current liabilities starts at 27 to 20. So there's a whole lot of room here. So we could say, all right, maybe I should start this at 2500, and maybe I say a little bit more room since I got a whole lot of room here. 7, I can say, 9, and then I can basically autofill, and it'll fill up the pattern that we have here. So I'm gonna do this one time down, and then we've got the payroll. So the payroll now is at that 13 or that 21.3, which again is well within our other current liabilities area here. And then I have all the subcategories. Once again, it's a subcategory given by the colon. So it's a subcategory. So maybe I want to make this close, 21.3, maybe 10, something like that, so that I can add, if I need more payroll items, 21.320, something like that. And then I'll select these two, autofill that down, and they're still spaced out, but they're pretty close to this line item because they're going to be sub-accounts of this line item. So there we have all the payroll items, and did I go all the way down on that? So we're going to say payroll from here, one more down. Did I pick that one up? Yeah, 21 and then 21.4. That's still well within our range. So then maybe this one's 20. We're still on other current liabilities. So maybe we go to the 22 here, 22. And so there we have that. And that should be well within our range because it goes all the way up to the 25. So then we're going to go to the long-term liabilities. So long-term liabilities down below. So that starts at the range now I'd say to 26 now at the range here. So because I think it was a little bit out of order before, so I'm gonna bring this up to 26, and again I'll say like 26,200 or something like that, and then 26,500 maybe, and then I can copy those down and say these are gonna go down to the other long-term liabilities all the way down to here. So that goes to 20, brings it up to 26 to 29. So we have a ton of room in there. So that goes to 28. So there's a bunch of space in case we have a bunch more loans. 26.2, 26.5, 26.8, 27.1. And so we should have, and then all the way to the 28. And then we have till 29. So then the equity is usually 3,000s. So we got the 28. So the equity opening balance. Now you could say here again 3,000. It starts at 3,000. So maybe 30 like 200, and then 30 to like 500 possibly. And then I'll select those two and I'll autofill those down. And then income is going to be the next one. So income's at the 40s. 4s starts with a 4. So again, 40, the first one, we probably want to start not just at the first line item. We might want to say 402 or something like that. And then maybe I want to give a little bit more room than this. Maybe I want to say, okay, let's 402, 402, 3, 4 maybe. 404. That should give us a ton of room in between. And then we could select those two and we can autofill down to the income items. And this goes all the way down to here, and that goes up to 42, and we have all the way to 49, so we should have plenty of space within there. Next is the cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold starts at the 5s. So again, it starts at 501. Maybe we give even a little bit more room. We got a ton of room, maybe 502, and then maybe 502, 3, 4, 500, and then maybe we copy those and give us a bunch of room between those. Now note, actually I'm going to stop it up here because this one is a subcategory. So now we have these subcategories, which I might want to make pretty closer to this number. So it might be 505 10, 505 20, something like that. Selecting these two and then autofill that down to all the subs. These are the ones with the colons there. And then we've got the auto expense. So I'm still at, so these were the 5s, cost of goods sold. So now we're in the 6s because these are the normal expenses. So maybe again, I start at 602 here, 602, and then I say 60, maybe 2, 3, 4, 500. And so there we have these. Now there's a subcategory actually. This is 602, and then we have a subcategory. So maybe I make this 602 10, 602 20, 602 30 for these 3 subcategories of auto. And then maybe I jump up to 602 34 500, and then 6560800. And then I start to copy that down until I get to the next subcategory, which is right there. So I'm going to say, let's autofill that down. So 608, 609. Okay, so then I'm at 612, and then I have a subcategory. So now I'm going to say this is 61210, 61220, 61230, and then I'm going to say this is 1, 2, 6, 4. Or wait, I'm still on these 61240, and then I'm going to say this is 6123450, and then I'm back to subcategories here. So I'm going to say this is 61510, 61520, then payroll. So now I'm on 61567800, and this would be 61810, 61820, 61830 for the subcategory, 61840. Then supplies 6189, so 62 8 9 10 11, 6210, right? 62, so let's say 62100, something like that. And then postage, we're gonna say is 6212400, and then I'm going to copy that down until I get to the next subcategory, which is going to be a couple down here, down to here. Then we have another subcategory of the professional. So this is going to be 63010, 63020, and so now I'm on 63, let's say 300. And this will be 6334560. Subcategories again. So 63610, 63620, 63630, and this will be 6363900. Subcategories 63910, 63920, 63930, 63940, and then I'm going to say this is going to be 6464200 and 6423500, and subcategories 64510, 64520, 64530, and then 6456780. And so there we have finally all the expenses. Now it's the longest kind of area. So, and if I messed anything up, I probably, I'm doing this fairly quickly, but you get kind of the idea. Then we're in the other current, other income. So other income is down here in the 7s, ton of room down here. So, because you're not going to have a whole lot in other income. So you might want to make this one like 7.5 or something to give, a good amount of room. And then we have interest income. This is other income again, so maybe 71000. And then other expenses, that's going to be starting in the 8s, so plenty of room there again. So maybe I make this 805. And then these posting items are in the 9s. So I'll start that. So again, 901 should be fine. Or maybe I'll make this 902. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Something like that. So there's basically our adjustments. Now I'm going to unhide some cells. I'm going to put my cursor from O and select on over, all the way over. Right click on the selected area. Right click and unhide the cells. So there we have it. And then I'm going to close this back out. And notice it didn't just save now. Now it gave me this saving option, which is kind of a problem here, because now if I save it, if I say, yeah, go ahead and save it, then it wants to save it as a text file. And I don't want to save it as a text file. I want to save it as an IIF file. And I can't do that right now. So I changed, it's given me that option. Something changed that made it so I can't do that now. So what can I do at that point? Well, I could say, okay, let's go ahead and save it as a text file. And then I'll just copy and paste the changes that I have here into the IIF file. So I'm going to say file, and then I'll save as, browse, and I'm going to save it just as a text file. I'm going to put it on the desktop as well. I'm just going to save it there. And then I'm going to open up another Excel file. I'm just going to say open up another Excel file. And you'd only need to do this if you're having problems saving it as that IIF. And then I'm going to pull this over and say, okay, now I'm going to open up this IIF file again. And instead of hiding anything and doing any of that stuff to make the data input easier, I'm just going to copy and paste the account numbers that I already have over here. So I'm going to say, all right, here's my text file. I've already done it. This is in a text file format now, TXT. All I need to do is copy this whole column here. So I don't need to hide anything. I've already done the work. It's right there. It should copy and paste exactly into the same format. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to the account number here in column H. I'm not going to adjust the cells or do anything else. I'm just going to paste the new account numbers on down. And notice it should paste exactly. So now I'm going to close this and I'm going to save it. And notice when I hit save, it didn't ask me to save it as a certain file type. So it should have saved it properly. Let's check it one more time though, just to check it. I'm going to say, all right, let's open up another Excel file. And I'll drag it in there again just to see if it has my changes in it. So our changes in it. We changed it together. So I'm going to drag in the file here. Let's do it again. And so now we have the 101, 103, 105. Does this look like our new account numbers? I think these are our new account numbers. So yeah, it looks like it's all been updated. So that is good. So I'm going to close this out again. And so this now has our new account numbers. Next time we're going to import it back into QuickBooks.